Hey there, I'm Colin Weston, host of the Mod Golf Podcast. So today I have Nick Steiner, who is the founder of Back2Basics Golf, based in Australia, Gold Coast in Queensland, an American transplant. Apparently, he's never coming back. And Nick is a seasoned entrepreneur, done lots of things in the golf and sport and tech space. And I just finished up a great conversation with him for the podcast episode. But we're going to ask him some different questions here just to keep things fresh, so that after this, if you have a viewer really enjoy what you see here, you'll go back and click in the comments below there that we have the link to the podcast episode that Nick and I just finished up there. So, hey, Nick, welcome back. Good to see you on the Mod Golf Podcast again.
No, thanks, Colin, and happy to be here. And hello to everyone watching.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, hey, to get us started here, Nick, hey, how did you go from San Diego to end up in on the east coast of Australia? How did that happen?
Yeah, it was quite a transition, but fortunately, Gold Coast is a lot similar to San Diego. Basically, I had a pro scooter store and skate park that I was running out of Southern California for several years. That business ended up taking me to some international travels, which brought me to Australia for a major event in the pro scooter industry. And from there, I met the owner of Scooter Hut, who owned the biggest scooter company here in Australia. He had seen the things I had done in the US as far as branding and for that company, and asked me if I wanted to possibly sell my company in the US and come partner with him here and develop a brand he had here. That was 4 years ago. Haven't looked back, and definitely not a decision I regret. That's for sure.
There you go. So I didn't ask you this question. I was waiting for this one on for the video portion here of our conversation. Share with us your first ever golf moment, the first time you picked up a club, and also the first amazing golf experience you can remember, that memory that hooked you on the game.
Oh, well, those are all great questions, and I think you're gonna love some of this. So probably, probably the first one ever. We had a little pre-conversation earlier, and it just really kind of dawned on me. And I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, in the garage, just mucking about with some stuff with my brother, just being boys and idiots, and what can we destroy today? And lo and behold, there's an old leather bag in the back corner with some wood Tommy armor, like old just grandfather's golf clubs, and there's some balls that run it. And we're like, oh, we're going to take these, vintage golf clubs, which are probably worth a lot of money today, and just go hit some balls around the backyard. And all of a sudden we started swinging them, and yep, lo and behold, third shot hit the wood driver, and a big old piece of wood flew right off, right off the driver. So tried to hide that for years, put it back upside down in the bag, and yeah, it's something that we laugh about at family parties to this day. I remember when I broke, my grandfather's vintage clubs, and those are my first memories as a golf, and having a bit of a hit. But being a baseball player back in those days, I'll tell you right now, the baseball swing does not work well when it comes to golf.
Say no, it does not. I grew up playing baseball competitively also, and I'm a little bit older than you. So back when I started playing golf, and for a couple of decades, there was no YouTube videos, there was no apps to help you, there was no online coaching. So I had to then, for my baseball swing, and being in Canada here, playing a lot of hockey, same thing is, yeah, that motion is not the same. So I've spent years trying to eradicate those 50,000 bad swings from my muscle memory, which is still, unfortunately, a work in progress. Is why I'm still a 14 handicap, but getting better, improving there. So you talked about your first golf experience was one that was laced with kind of guilt and fear there with breaking something, but now you've transformed those emotions into one of kind of joy and fun with what you do on the golf course, which I think is a nice little segue to one of the reasons that you created your Pro Path putting mirror. So, and you talk about that, how that product, you've brought that to market and why you've done that. And I believe you haven't done the reveal. I believe you actually have one with you today. Perhaps you can show that
I
to us.
do. I do. If you want to take a quick look here. So again, this is the, trying to shine. It's a little bit bright and light above, but yeah, this is the Pro Path putting mirror. You can see at your, your shoulder line down here at the bottom. You're going to have your eye line in the center, and then don't want to go directly back into the camera, but you're going to have that 15-degree arc that you're going to kind of see, through there as well too. So That's really going to show you. And then, like we talked about, it's two-sided, whether you're left or right-handed. It's going to be set up for either of those kind of people. And yeah, that's talking about the excitement, what kind of built me into making that product, and something that you kind of asked in the last question before is, what really developed that passion for me? What was the big moment for me to really love golf? And for me, before, segueing back before any of this had started, was probably a 2008 Torrey Pines U.S. Open, standing on 18 when when Tiger overtook Rocco Mediate on that Saturday round. And I've never experienced anything like it in my entire life. From being to, Super Bowls before and World Series and, Stanley Cups, fortunate enough to go to a lot of those events growing up in the Midwest, as a massive, just diehard, U.S. sports fan. That moment at the U.S. Open, forever changed my love for the game. And it's something that I tap into nowadays when I'm on a course, and just a smile comes on the face, because that was the day you had grandfathers and grandmas high-fiving and picking up little kids, and people were just freaking out.
See, what I like about that story is it was a very diverse crowd between ages, genders, like everybody just freaking out and having a great time and just connecting with golf. And I know that's one of your whys with the company, with not only the products but also the apparel that you create, is to grow golf in that sense of that multi-billion-dollar golf opportunity. From the business side of how do you make golf more accessible and welcoming for women, for younger people, for diverse populations and ethnic minorities and people, to be honest, let's put it out there, people that aren't a couple of white guys like you and I, right?
Totally.
How do you make it more diverse? So you touched on this earlier in our podcast conversation, but can you tell us some of the things that you do to kind of help out and reach out to help grow the game and connect with, especially with younger people, to make the game more welcoming for them through the work that you do through Back to Basics Golf?
Yeah. So if you take a look at our socials, you'll definitely see that no matter what walk of life you come from, age, ethnicity, diversity, any of that kind of stuff is something that we're very supportive and inclusive with the brand. And when it comes to the younger generation, I just know it's something that when I was younger, it always meant something to me when people would kind of pass on something to me, or have a little bit of belief, or show some support, and let you know that things are going to be okay, and you can kind of move forward in life on ideas or wacky things that you might have in mind that you kind of want to do, and you don't know until you actually give those things a try. So I just know that when I was that age, if I had someone to support me and let me know those things like I do, through the brand, whether it's the scooter brand or the golf brand, of just being there, just shaking hands, just answering questions. You never know how bad of a day, a kid's having, or what walk of life you would have came from. So, that just means so much to the younger generation when you take time to just really listen and get on their level. And that's something that's been very important to me, building a community, not only for, the action sports industry, but also in the golfing world as well, too.
I love that. And it's so important for everybody out there, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, but just to make that effort to put yourself out there and build community and offer help. And you'll be amazed at what you get back. And it's a long-term investment, kind of building your own social capital, not only personally, but also in your business and the things that you do. But it's so critically important. And also it connects you to other people. As human beings, we're hardwired to connect with people. I know we're shooting this right now during the middle of a COVID pandemic, so we don't have what we had even 8 or 9 months ago, being able to connect in person, which we desperately need. But we do hope that comes back very soon. And I also hope with that I get a chance to come over to Australia very soon, maybe even next year, and maybe we can hang out. Obviously you're not going to take me surfing, so maybe you can take me golfing.
Maybe you'll get me in the water. I don't know.
There we
There's been a lot of
go.
shark attacks here, though. So
Yeah, well, maybe you and I will stick to the golf course. I hear fewer shark attacks on the golf course, so maybe a bit safer there with what we do. So, hey, don't want to keep you any longer here, because we do want to encourage our viewers here to become listeners. To then, as I said, down in the comments below there, you can then click on the link to listen to our podcast episode. I had a great conversation with Nick, and he really expands into kind of all these nuggets of wisdom of entrepreneurship that you've built up over the last couple of decades, which have been amazing and really, really helpful. So please give that a listen. And before we go here, Nick, why don't you let our viewers know here where they can find out more about Back to Basics Golf?
Yeah, thank you, Colin. You can find us online at www.back2basics.golf, or social, Facebook and Instagram, Back2Basics Golf.
Very good. And you will also find that down below too in the comments. So awesome. Nick, it's been great. Hopefully I'll be able to see you in person very soon. But in the meantime, I did want to mention before we go, so for all of our viewers, in a couple weeks' time, Nick has offered to provide one lucky viewer and listener a ProPath putting mirror. So we're going to have a social media giveaway with that in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. And if you want to enter that or one of the other contests we have coming up, here's what you do. You got to subscribe to the channel and just leave a comment below and just say, sign me up for #ModGolf giveaway. So that's all you need to do. Nice and simple. And we'll go with that. So, hey, Nick, enjoy your golf, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Will do. Thanks, Colin, and thanks to your community.